So this week, the thing that I was still thinking about after class was, I guess, Abby's presentation she did on the parsing of language in novels and looking at genre and characters and types of words to try to characterize like parts of a novel. And yeah, so this kind of thing, I always wonder whether we just decide to, do large data capture and do these statistical methods on things, regardless of whether we think they're important or not. It was an interesting project, and I don't think that it's like a bad thing necessarily to do, but I also am left wondering, what does it do for us? Like, why would we want to know what words a machine put at like various parts for a novel? Is it so that it can make better recommendations if you like this novel, and then they can guess like, oh, you probably like this novel because you like genres, or you like a lot of action or something like this, or you like similar plots, so then it makes other recommendations for novels. So I mean, I don't know, it sounds like that's also maybe bad, because then it doesn't get you to explore it all. Books, you just find ones that are like linguistically exactly like the book you read before. So yeah, I just really couldn't figure out what was the purpose of something like that, because to me, I do like whenever art and technology mix in interesting ways, but I think that to so mechanically draw out what you think is happening in a book and like look at that and act as if that's some kind of exposition of what's actually in the book, I think that's false. And I think it actually kind of reduces the book to like very machine-like parts, and it loses aspects like metaphor. And I can imagine that it might even be hard for the computer to get some of those things. And that's okay. Like, I think that's what makes it an interesting project, is maybe it's about learning about some of those factors. But I do think that like it's such a large-scale project, one might wonder like, why should people put the books into this? Like, is this all wrong? Like, there's no analysis to actually go back and check, like, do these things, does the product of this data science actually give us something meaningful? That was something that was lacking. I was going through and looking, and I couldn't really find anything on like why this would be meaningful. Like Pandora, which it models itself off of, at least has the whole music suggestion, actually, where you're in real-time radio getting suggested based on the connections in their music genome project. But the book genome is more just like, it almost seems like for the sake of just looking at how the machine made sense of it. And so this is going to obviously bring me to like my big thing that I always say, which is, it would be cool if users could then actually do something and say, oh, this isn't how I read the book, or this isn't how I understand it, and they could like help work on this algorithm in a participatory sense. But just to like have the machine dissect it and then take a look at it and say, oh, okay, interesting. I don't know. I wonder if it actually is just making us even understand literature, or if it's like could be a negative effect it has overall. I don't know. I can't figure it out, but that was something I was left thinking about after class, so wanted to reflect on it for a minute in my little journal, weekly journal. All right, take care.